Yo, everybody. Hey, welcome to this Movies Merica spoiler warning episode here this Thursday night. It's almost the freaking weekend, people. So kick back, relax, ease your mind. Okay. So, yes, it's movie time here at Movies Merica spoiler warning headquarters. And more specifically, Arthur the King time. Okay. Yes, this episode is going to the dogs. Yeah. So get ready to join me in the dog pound here on the Arthur the King episode of Movies America spoiler warning. Yes, all right. And I want to welcome here real quick here my movie maniacs, yes, and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics. You know who you are, okay? So all right, before I get a little too excited here and start doing things here a little before their time, let me give you something to dance to.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies America.
That's right. Yeah, so if that doesn't get you fired up, then you must be halfway in a coma at least, okay? Because it's the whistle has blown, okay? The steam whistle has blown. It's time to punch out from work and time to join me here for this Movies America spoiler warning Arthur the King episode, okay? And you're going to hear a lot about Mark Wahlberg, Nathalie, Emmanuel, Bear's Grill or Bear Grylls or something like that. I think that's what his name is. And then, of course, Arthur the King, Arthur the dog. Okay, so, and you're going to hear a lot about that. And also, it's your chance to live chat with me all about Arthur the King or any Mark Wahlberg movie or, hell, any movie. Okay, go nuts, go crazy, okay? Because
I'm drunk, you're drunk, everybody's drunk.
I think I can relate to that guy. Okay, so absolutely. So, hey, and we speaking of live chat here, we've got my man Will up in here. My man Will here joining me here from the YouTube side. It looks like, and hey, welcome. Glad you could join me here at Movies America spoiler warning, and right back to you. What up, dog? Yeah, a lot of dog in me tonight. Okay, so that sounded nasty. I don't go that way. Okay, so not that you know. All right, so but yeah, Will, again, thanks for joining, and Will reminds me to remind you again. You can live chat with me through YouTube, through Rumble, through Pill.net. Okay, because I don't want to just be talking to myself about Arthur the King tonight. I mean, that'd be pretty weird. It'd be pretty freaky deaky. Okay, don't want to do that. All right, so let's get right into Arthur the King, and let me give you a little visual flair. Yeah, because we're all about flair here at Movies America. Spoiler warning. And I mean, this Arthur the dog in this. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I have a soft spot for dogs. I've got my own dog, Tugboat, my English bulldog. He's my big fat pile of wrinkles, and so I always have a soft spot for dogs. And so, this dog, the stray dog in Arthur the King, it got to me, and I was like, oh, it won me over. Okay, you just have to show me a dog in a movie, and I'm like, yeah, all right, I'm in like Flynn. And so Arthur is like this poor abused stray dog in the Dominican Republic. He's just wandering around like all the stray dogs. They're probably just breeding left and right all over the place, and he's looking for food wherever he can. And kind of reminded me like when I was a kid, and my folks didn't have much food in the house, or at least not much food that I wanted to eat. And I had to hunt high and low in the house for anything that didn't have a wheat germ in it. Okay, I was a stray dog, just looking for some good grub, so some food that actual humans would want to eat, not rabbit food. Okay, so I could identify with Arthur, wandering all over the Dominican Republic looking for something good to eat. Okay, so I mean, it's one of those things where your life goes.
She's gone from suck to blow.
Real quick there if you can't find anything to eat. So, and then Arthur, I guess fortuitous for him, he gets chased out of the city, I guess, really by a couple of other stray dogs that pretty much just want to kill him. Okay. And so he travels outside the city, and outside the city is like one of the checkpoints where Mark Wahlberg's Michael Light character and his team are, just resting up as part of that adventure racing race that they're in. And, you see Wahlberg, he looks over and he sees Arthur and sees him looking, pretty disheveled, not looking so great. All right. And just looking like, just warmed over stir-fried shit. Okay. But feels for him, and he's like, hey, I know this dog is hungry, so he throws him some meatballs, and as with most dogs, you throw them food, and the connection is made right there. Okay, so you got a friend for life. Okay, and so yeah, they become best buds, and then you see, if you've seen the movie, you know what happens. I mean, Michael Light, goes off with his team to continue the adventure race. Probably thinking, hey, I'm never going to see Arthur again. It's just a stray dog that I just gave some food to, and thinks he's never going to see him again. And then later on in the race, all of a sudden the dog shows up again. They're like right in the middle of the Amazon rainforest or something, or not the Amazon rainforest, but like a rainforest somewhere. And next thing you know, Arthur the dog is kind of springs out at him, from the tree line there. And of course, Mark Wahlberg's like, what the hell? What that dog? Where'd this dog come from? I last saw that dog like 200 miles ago and 2 days ago. And when I gave him some food, like, how the hell does this dog make it here? It's just amazing. Like, what happened with this dog and whatnot. So
sorry for yelling, but I'm serious.
So yeah, but Wahlberg is just like, and the rest of the team are just like, wow, this dog is amazing. I mean, trekking all over the Dominican Republic, finding out where we're at. And that is pretty impressive. I mean, but you hear stories about dogs, they their family accidentally leaves without them, or the dog runs off and they can't find them, and then they drive back home, which is like 250, 300 miles away or something. I'm just making some numbers up. And then, you hear those stories about, wow, we thought we lost our dog forever, but somehow he found us. He walked 2 states, walked back to our house from 2 states away. And, all of a sudden we saw, hey, little Fido found himself, found his way back home and that kind of thing. So inspirational little dog stories like that. I mean, it's, you hear about them.
That's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
But and so the rest of the team that is on Wahlberg's adventure racing team, the rest of the characters on there was like, you got Simu Liu, who of course played Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. That I'm pretty sure is a bust of an MCU movie, and Simu Liu is pretty much just a complete douchebag. In real life, he's just one of a number of actors that when their movie takes a dump at the box office, they start instead of looking inwards and looking at the themselves and the other filmmakers, going, what could we have done better? They immediately bust out the first is or faux word that comes to mind, and pukes that all over their fans. Okay, all over their customers, basically all the people that pay their paycheck, that enable them to make millions of dollars to be adult pretenders. And so Simu Liu is one of those douchebags that when Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings didn't make that much money, he started blaming people, saying, "Oh well, people didn't go see it because they're racist," So basically, he's shitting all over the movie going public and ensuring that Simu Liu will never open another movie again. Okay, or if he does, his family and maybe 3 other people are going to go see that movie. But Simu Liu is a supporting character in this movie, and he better get used to that because that is going to be his lot in acting life from now on. And he's just like other actors like Brie Larson, or who's that stupid twat, Rachel Zegler, one of those actors that loves to blame moviegoers, the public, the people that hey, it's incumbent on the filmmakers and actors to make a good movie. Okay, it's incumbent on them to entertain us and give us something to go see, not the other way around. Okay, it's not the movie going public's job to prove themselves to the actors and the filmmakers. Quite the opposite. It's the other way around. So don't fucking get it twisted there, filmmakers, and particularly Simu Liu right there. But I'm just doing a little housekeeping here on the show here, but hopefully you guys are enjoying the Arthur the King episode of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning here so far, because we're going to go even more in depth with this movie right now. And and again, live chat with me, Rumble, YouTube, pilled.net. Okay, you can, because I don't want to be talking to myself about Arthur the King. I mean, that's pretty psycho to be doing that. So that's not how I roll. Okay, but and then also, hey, I mean, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Nathalie Emmanuel is another member of Wahlberg's team, of the adventure racing team, and she personally was my favorite member of the team right there. I can't imagine why. Okay, can't imagine why that would be. Maybe the fact that hey, you know what? She first showed up on my radar as Miss Sandy in Game of Thrones. She was a total smoke show in that show, and and her character just happened to fall in love with the character on that show that had no dick and balls. Okay, so it was kind of a interesting situation for her in Game of Thrones. But if you've never seen Game of Thrones, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But Nathalie Emmanuel, total luminescent smoke show. You've seen her also in a few of the Fast and the Furious movies and a few standalone movies she's been in. She was just in a movie not too long ago where it was like a vampire movie, like this family in this Victorian mansion. They turn out to be like a bunch of vampires or something like that. And she was like the innocent, unaware, normie character, that was like, oh, hey, these people are all treating me nice and whatnot. They're enticing me to come to their home. I'm sure nothing could be amiss. And the next thing you know, the fangs bust out and she's up shit creek. Okay, so but I heard that movie kind of sucked right there. A lot of people were like, I gotta go take them. Yeah, so they weren't down to clown with that. But Nathalie Emmanuel, she's pretty good in Arthur the King as she's a very plucky, very brave member of the team, and she, as we find out, she didn't really want to be on the team. She's on the team because her dad, who is dying from cancer, wanted her to be on the team, so she's doing it to honor her dad's wishes. And so, what a good daughter, right? Doing what your dad tells you. But she's all broken up about it because, she's right, when she makes the point that, hey, every day that I'm here is another day I'm away from my dad, who I don't know if I mentioned it here already, but he's dying from cancer. Okay. So, and I want to be able to spend as much time with him, but I can't because I'm over here climbing cliffs and riding bikes and kayaking and running my ass off and sweating all over the place. And it's just all kinds of hard work and shit,
Damn.
Yeah, damn right. So she's another member on the team here, a little more of a sympathetic member of the team. And then finally we have our other guy named Chick, I believe is his name. And Chick, he is played by, who is it? Ali Suliman, I think that's how you say his name. Ali Suliman. He plays Chicken. He looks to be like the oldest member of the team. He's the guy who's got the bum knee, and they're always worrying about his knee and if it's going to hold up. I mean, keep in mind with the adventure racing, what is it, like a 4 or 5 day race over 500 something miles or something like that? I forget what the exact distance is, but it's more than just running up and down, running around the block around your house, right? It's more than that. It's more than a leisurely stroll. It's some serious shit, okay? And so they got to worry about his knee, popping out and his knee just completely exploding. But yeah, he's played by Ali Suliman. And Ali Suliman, I remember when I was watching this movie, I was like, where have I seen this guy before? And then I remembered, like, oh, that's right. He played a bad guy. He was a bad guy in the first season of Jack Ryan with John Krasinski. And then then after that, I had to IMDb. I know I cheated. Okay, I went to IMDb. I IMDb'd Ali Suliman, and it turns out he was in Lone Survivor with Mark Wahlberg. So we had a little reunion of sorts between Mark Wahlberg and Ali Suliman in Arthur the King, because they were in Lone Survivor together. And Ali Suliman, he played the Afghani that hid Mark Wahlberg's Marcus. I was about to say Marcus Burnett, but that's the character. That's a character from Bad Boys. That's Martin Lawrence from Bad Boys, right there. So, but Marcus Luttrell, that's it. So yeah, Mark Wahlberg plays Marcus Luttrell in Lone Survivor, and so Ali Suliman's Afghani character hides Marcus Luttrell. Thus, pretty much, he was trying his best to save him from the evil Taliban. Okay, so the Taliban, that we just let take over Afghanistan a couple years ago. After fighting to keep them out of Afghanistan for 20 years, and then we just, after 20 years, we just give it right back to them, pretty much negating all the blood and treasure that we invested into Afghanistan. But yeah, yes, that Taliban. Okay, so the Taliban that has all our American, or has a shitload of our American military weapons. Okay, so that Taliban. But so yeah, they were in Lone Survivor in that. So I was like, yeah, where have I seen him before? And that was one of the movies. And then last but not certainly not least, he was in Body of Lies, the Ridley Scott movie from 2008, and he was in that with Russell Crowe and Leo DiCaprio and Mark Strong. And he played like this guy they pretty much used up and threw away. He was a pawn in the game of Body of Lies. Okay, so and he's a pretty good actor, very, very good actor. But yeah, he was the fourth member of the team, the adventure racing team. So, yeah, let's mix it up here a little bit, real quick here by me playing a little video that I found here about Arthur the King that I thought was a little interesting here. Plus, it's going to give me a chance to, give me a little drinky off my beer over here, because again, that's got to do what I got to do here again to get like this
I'm
guy.
drunk. You're drunk. Everybody's drunk.
Goals. Got to try to meet them, right? So everyone always helps to have a goal here. But yeah, let's check out this. This is going to be like a behind the scenes video pertaining to Arthur the King here. So then I thought you might enjoy. So here we go.
This film was propelled into existence by the events that actually happened in real life with Michael Linord on his race in Ecuador.
Team Broad Rail has traveled over 200 miles and they've found a companion.
How the hell did he get all the way from here to there, right? While we were on bikes and zip lines and hiking and running and climbing?
He must have wings we don't know about.
And that subsequently became a book, which subsequently became a short documentary. And it's the most emotional, compelling story. And we knew we had to make it into a film.
I'm gonna fight. Okay, we're gonna fight together. I'm gonna get you home.
I never helped get Arthur from Ecuador because of fame or money or making a movie. I was racing 20 years, chasing the gold medal. That was my mission in life. Arthur, he kind of came into our team.
That's the dog I gave the meatballs to. You gave it food? Yeah, 3 days and 200 miles ago.
I just felt sorry for him for a few seconds in the middle of the World Championship. And this is the first time in my life I put someone else's life instead of myself.
Leo, we gotta get him.
Michael, we are so close.
I'm not gonna let him drown out here.
So Arthur have got from this stray dog to a symbol.
Think you found your new partner in suffering, Michael.
I thought you loved pain.
Something tells me he does too.
Oh yeah, so that was pretty cool there. But yeah, just got some behind the scenes footage there, particularly if anybody is watching this episode right now that hasn't seen the movie. And I should warn you here, if you are in that situation, you know, you should not be watching this if you don't want Arthur the King spoiled. Okay. Now I want as many people watching this episode as possible, but also I want to be honest. You know, I'm not trying to ruin anybody's enjoyment of Arthur the King. So even though it is one of those movies where you pretty much like get the whole plot of the movie from the trailer. Okay. So you can kind of see where it's going right there. But one thing that people might not know about this movie before going in, and might be what is keeping them from seeing the movie, and what might have kept a lot of people from seeing this movie this weekend, because Arthur the King didn't do so hot at the box office. Okay, so a lot of people, if they were thinking about is this movie, a lot of them were thinking,
no, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
yeah, because that's what they thought they were going to be screaming at the end of the movie if Arthur dies at the end of this movie. But Arthur does not die at the end of this movie, okay? You are not going to want to slit your wrists after you leave the theater by watching this, okay? It's a good, heartwarming, happy ending to this movie right here, okay? It's a fantastic, great movie, and you're going to be feeling all uplifted and whatnot. So not quite to the level of, like, say, you know, how good you felt after watching Top Gun Maverick or something like that. So not that good, okay? But yeah, you're not going to be depressed, okay? You're not going to want to not going to draw down a whole bottle of pain pills, okay, after this. So but I suspect that maybe that might be what kept a lot of people from going to see this movie. And so it came in third place at the box office behind Dune Part 2 and Kung Fu Panda 4. Okay, but hopefully, you know, it gets some good word of mouth, and people start telling people about Arthur the King and spreading the word that yes, Arthur the dog does not die at the end of this movie. But I don't blame them for thinking that, because there has been plenty of dog movies where the dog does end up dying and you're just like depressed, you know, afterwards for at least a little bit. And yeah, it's not cool. Okay, so I mean, and I don't like any movies where the dogs die either. So I mean, so yeah, John Wick, the first John Wick is probably the John Wick movie I watched the least, just because of the dog getting killed in that movie. Not a fan. Okay, so so yeah, but you don't have to worry about that in Arthur the King. Okay, so that's my my disclaimer for Arthur the King. All right, so but that's how I roll.
Did anyone
right
ever
there.
tell you you're a moron?
All right, so let's mix it up here a little bit here by me telling you about tdpn.locals.com. You see it right up there at the very top of the screen. And I'm telling you that because that's where we here at the Till Death Podcast Network have all our content, like videos and blogs and articles that are out there waiting for you, all about TV and movies and entertainment and booze and politics and hot button topics of the day, that kind of thing. And so you want to definitely check that out right there, because it's presented in a way that you're not going to find anywhere else. Okay. It's very, very unique. Okay. But in a good way. Okay. And so as you see down below, if you put in promo code TDPN, you're going to get 1 month free membership. Okay. 1 month free membership to tdpn.locals.com. Okay. You're going to have carte blanche across the board. Okay. Access to everything, okay, including our social security numbers, our blood types, credit card numbers, okay, maybe not all that. Okay, so not going that far, but a lot of access. Okay, and after that, it's just $3 a month. To have full access to the website. It's measly money. Okay, it's a drop in the bucket. Okay, and so in that, $3 a month will get you full access, VIP access to everything. Okay, but again, if you want to give us more money per month, hey, that's just how we make a living. Out of doing this, or that's how we keep going, providing this content for you. Okay, so check it out, everybody. Okay, don't hesitate. Okay, like they say, if you hesitate, you masturbate. Okay, so yeah, not that I would know anything about that. Not me. No, dog. Yes, and yeah, let's check out for some live chats here while I'm thinking about it. Hey, we got Filter Dog 1. Yeah, and he says Kung Fu Panda is out. Yes, it is out there, and I'm glad that I have been able to be a breaking news source for you there, Filter Dog 1. Yeah, and then apparently he heard my John Wick quip right there. He's got a great John Wick sticker on Pilled right there. So the John Wick movies are just a great, dependable entertainment. If you just want to see some good brainless action, for hours at a time, just fantastic. Fantastic action flick right there. And hey, it's late stage Keanu Reeves. Okay, I mean, I remember seeing Keanu Reeves way back in Parenthood and Point Break and Dracula and Speed, and that was a long, long time ago, boys and girls. But now we've got, we got late stage Keanu Reeves still kicking ass and taking names, or kicking names and taking ass, however you want to say that. Okay, so then we got hey, Will. He's got here. So he's got. Have you ever seen Where the Red Fern Grows? Good movie, tear jerker. So, that's one of those movies where I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. I've heard of it quite a bit, but I have never heard of it or never seen it there. But I think, isn't it based on a book? Isn't there a book called Where the Red Fern Grows, or Where the Red Fern Grows? Geez, say that 10 times real fast. So, yeah, it says he thinks it's a Disney flick right there. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was right there. So probably back when Disney made good stuff. Okay, so actually, Disney used to make some pretty good live action movies. Like Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, which is, well, I say live action, but it had animation in it, and Mary Poppins, and was it the Apple Dumpling Gang back in like the 70s or 80s? Lots of cool flicks. Something Wicked This Way Comes from back in the 80s. Great, live action Disney movies. So now I say that assuming Where the Red Fern Grows is a live action movie. It just now dawned on me like, hey, maybe it's a cartoon. I don't know. Maybe it's animated. But yeah. Again, Will, thanks for joining here the show. Yeah, definitely. It's always good to get as many people joining me here because I get lonely. But what else can I say about Arthur the King? I mean, what is there not to say about Arthur King? Okay, I mean, Mark Wahlberg, in this movie, it's another movie where he plays an everyman, right? And he plays an everyman in his sleep. I mean, just see like Deepwater Horizon, or what was that, Patriot Day, and then that terrible movie, The Happening, where Mark Wahlberg does some of his best acting. Okay, in The Happening. But yeah, he plays every man in his sleep. And when we first meet him in this movie, he's like this headstrong, stubborn, yet determined adventure racer. Just trying to win his first championship. I mean, he's been in the game a long time. I think he says in the movie he's been adventure racing for like 19 years or something, and he's just living this unfulfilled, empty life. Okay, he's got this adventure racing championship shaped hole in his heart, that he's trying to fill. Okay, and which makes it even more astounding and impressive, when he forgoes winning the championship at the end to save Arthur, okay? Because, like a lot of dogs, they're so loyal and they're so in love with, with their owner or someone that they've, established an attachment to, that when Mark Wahlberg and his team are forced to separate from Arthur the King because, the dickhead, runners of the adventure race won't let them take Arthur on the kayak because of some pussy ass insurance excuse and all that shit. You hear that way too much nowadays. Like people are like, you can't let you do it because of insurance concerns or litigation concerns, because we're such a fucking litigious society nowadays, and everyone's like scared out of their fucking minds about doing decent things yet risky things, risky things. So that's the reason why, they're told that they can't take Arthur on the kayak with them. But Arthur ain't having it. Okay, Arthur's like, hey, I don't care if I got a doggy paddle to my death, in this lake or whatever, to try to catch up to my newfound beloved friend Mark Wahlberg. And so, as you see towards the end of the movie, Arthur, he's doggy paddling. He's trying to make his way, trying to catch up to Mark Wahlberg and Simu Liu in their kayak, who which of course he's never gonna catch up with to him, right? He's just doggy paddling and they're in a kayak, right? And but he's getting so tuckered out. He's just trying to get to him so bad that he's like, hey, I'm willing to tucker myself out and get tired enough to where I'm gonna die trying to reach Mark Wahlberg. And it's like, that's a dog for you. That's dogs and how dedicated they are to you. And Mark Wahlberg, I mean, he knows what's going to happen. He sees Arthur, doggy paddling in the water. He knows that, hey, he's if I don't turn back, if I don't do what's right, if I don't turn back and rescue Arthur, am I going to be able to live with myself? Like, because I know I wouldn't be able to live with myself. I'd be thinking of myself as like this insensitive, dipshit for the rest of my life. Like, wow, you're just going to let this dog that saved our lives earlier in the movie just die? What for? What? I mean, and so he forgoes winning the championship to save Arthur. So, and that makes it that more impressive because, he's been waiting years and years to win his first championship, and he puts dog before self in this movie. And so, that's very cool. It definitely, endears, his character to everybody right there. And hey, if you're one of those people that are listening to this and are offended by my take because you're like, hey, you should have just let the dog drown. Hey, if you're offended,
be offended.
Yeah, there you go. So, all right. So, but I thought that was a feather in the cap for old Mark Wahlberg's character right there. So very, very cool part of the movie. But and then what else is there to say? I mean, I should mention that, I'm sure like with most people, I'd never even heard of this story before. The story of Arthur, the dog, and this adventure racing team and that kind of thing. I mean, there was even a book that came out about it before, and then I think ESPN did a documentary about it. But I think they did the documentary about Arthur the King after this movie came out or around the same time or something like that. But and there was a bunch of news reports back in the day about it, that kind of thing. So speaking of which, here I'll play you one of those news reports here. I think we got one running right here. So I think I just have one of those news reports in my arsenal here. So let's check it out.
Our acclimatization for the World Cup and getting ready for the start.
High in the mountains of Ecuador, Team Peak Performance were preparing for a grueling adventure. What none of them knew is that they'd pick up another teammate along the way. They met him somewhere in the Amazon, ragged and hungry. They gave him a meatball and shooed him away. But the dog had other ideas. As they continued their 440-mile race, he never left their side. He defined the word dogged. Struck by his fearlessness, they named him after King Arthur. On the kayak stage, he swam alongside his new teammates until they lifted him onto the boat. Where they slept, he slept. And when they finally reached the finish line 2 days later, Arthur was with them.
He was a street dog, and I think to just follow us on this adventure was like, I think he was thinking that, okay, this is...
So this guy right here, this is a guy that Mark Wahlberg's Michael Light character was based off of. Okay, but as you can tell, this guy's name is obviously not Michael Light. And I think they said what he's from Sweden, I think, something like this. Obviously, he's from some Scandinavian country. But for American audiences there, they changed it to change the character to Michael Light, and then they made the team from America. And then they changed the race from, I think the race was in Ecuador, and they changed it to the Dominican Republic. So, but yeah, this is the guy right here that Michael Light, Mark Wahlberg's character, is based off of.
My chance. These guys have been kind to me, and that means something. I go with these guys.
Next stop, the vet, for probably the first time in his life, and for the team, the realization that they couldn't leave him behind. By now, his fame had spread, and he arrived in Sweden to a hero's welcome. The South American stray who'd won his teammates' hearts and travelled 6,000 miles to find a home. Richard Lister, BBC News.
Great story. Yeah, I like that story right there. So, old Arthur the dog just got, as you saw at the end of the movie there, they did that thing. They did that cliffhanger thing where you're like, man, is he going to make it? Because Arthur the King, he was in bad shape, right, towards the end of the movie. He had walked all that distance, trekked all that distance with the team, and then his life before he met Mark Wahlberg and the team in this movie was just a total shit show, right? Just abused and being chased by other dogs and that kind of thing. And so, he was he was basically he was looking like stir-fried shit even before he met with Mark Wahlberg there, unfortunately. But then he had that he said like he had a big cut in, he had a big cut on him that got infected, and he's got like parasites in him and that kind of thing. And then one of the really heartbreaking things is they said is that his teeth are rotted, so every single time he bit down when he was eating, it must have just killed him with the extreme pain that he was feeling whenever he ate something, which included the meatballs that Wahlberg was giving him here right there. But hey, well, I'm sure he wasn't just eating the meatballs to show his dedication to Mark Wahlberg. He was eating them because, he was hungry, right? But yeah, he's just in bad shape. And then they go to black screen towards the end. It's a cliffhanger. What's going to happen to Arthur? My God, please don't die. And then then you have your feel good moment at the end where they show Arthur and he's bulked up, he's beefed up, he's looking much better. His coat is looking much better. He's running around with a lot of pep in his step. He's a lot more energetic and that kind of thing. And hey, what can you say about those American vets, right? The veterinarians, they did a good job on him here. So yeah, again, a feel-good ending for Arthur. Doesn't die in this movie at all. So yeah, very cool to see that ending. But it makes you feel like for those stray dogs, because remember they showed you all the stray dogs there running around the Dominican Republic and that kind of thing. And it's unfortunately, there was a whole lot more of them here. Let me get that movie poster up there. Got to get my shit going together here. So, but yeah, you'd never seen, I'd never heard this story before. But hey, it's cool that get a big star like Mark Wahlberg to bring this story to the world through this movie. Now, even if this movie isn't a big hit in the theaters, which I don't think it will be, unfortunately. Because it's not a Marvel movie or a DC movie, or it's not Star Wars or something like that. So, but I think it's going to find some pretty good life on streaming and physical media and that kind of thing. It's going to be good to go right there. But this movie, there's a couple. I was remembering a movie. I was like trying to think of this movie that this movie reminded me of. Maybe like a dog movie that came out relatively recently, and I remember like, oh, that's right, yeah, that Channing Tatum movie simply called Dog came out a couple years ago. So that was another dog movie that starred a relatively prominent movie star a couple years ago, but Dog actually made more money than Arthur the King at the box office there, and actually that was closer to the pandemic. So I don't know. Someone was going over the numbers as far as Dog, the box office numbers that Dog made a couple years ago, as opposed to the box office numbers that Arthur the King made, and I don't know. They're just kind of like theorizing. Well, hey, maybe the ladies like Magic Mike more than they like Mark Wahlberg. I mean, I don't know. It's a Magic Mike versus Dirk Diggler showdown here. So you got Mark Wahlberg, Dirk Diggler versus Channing Tatum, Magic Mike. Let them fight. Okay. So, but the ladies apparently, I think they made the decision they like Magic Mike's dog movie more. So what's up with that, right? So, yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool things in this movie here, including the fact that, like I think I was mentioning here earlier, it's based off of a book. They have this book called Arthur the Dog Who Crossed the Jungle to Find a Home, and that book was written by that guy we just saw in the video there, that Mikhail or Lindnord. So yeah, hey, if you can find that book, check it out. Okay, so and then get some more in-depth movie or in-depth knowledge about whole Arthur the King and all that stuff. So yeah, don't be that person that
crash and burn, huh, Mav?
Yeah, but yeah, and so and then also you had like who is that? Oh, Paul Guilfoyle. He's the guy who played Mark Wahlberg's dad in this, and Paul Guilfoyle is probably, for a lot of people, again, another one of those actors who's like, oh, that guy. Okay, yeah. Like, where have I seen that guy before? Other than 75 other movies that I've seen Paul Guilfoyle in here, and so, but yeah, he's been in a lot of movies. He's been like in Ransom with Mel Gibson, and he was a prominent character in CSI, the very first CSI series there in Vegas. He was in that show as well, and with way back in the day that was it Cadillac Man with Robin Williams and Tim Robbins. I mean, just a shitload of movies that Paul Guilfoyle has been in. But yeah, I mean, this is one of those movies where I heard people like sniffling in the movie theater. I'm sure a lot of people were busting out the Kleenex during this movie because yeah, I mean, at the end, with the last third of the movie, they really drill into you that Arthur is in bad shape, and you just don't know if he's going to make it. He's, towards the very end, of the race, he just they don't know if he can make it. He's got to be carried. Fireman carried by, I think, by Wahlberg at one point, and he's just weak and just can barely move. And then they run into that fucking like bureaucratic red tape at the end because Mark Wahlberg's like, oh, I want to take him home. And I want to take him to a vet in America. The vets that actually have everything that you should, pretty much have everything you need for your pets, as opposed to some third world shithole, countries of vet, that we saw in this movie right there. But of course, they run in that whole, that fucking bureaucratic red tape. Like, well, no, you're never going to be able to take, Arthur home with you. It's all this quarantine shit and all this medical crap and that kind of stuff. And, I know there's like a place and time for that. There's good reasons to have that, but come on, it's a dog. Okay. Like quarantine them like they did and that kind of thing. And so point I'm trying to make is going through all this, bureaucratic, legalistic bullshit. And so again, another roadblock for Mark Wahlberg trying to get Arthur home. And so again, you just don't know if Arthur's going to make it. Is going to die right there in the Dominican Republic, or is he going to be able to get some better care? And so, yeah, again, that's why, I heard some sniffling, some crying, in a theater that I was watching Arthur the King in. And so it's understandable. It's a emotional movie. And, dogs, in movies always like get people in the feels and that kind of thing.
Fuck you.
Elizabeth.
Heartfelt.
It's a very heartfelt movie. Okay, so what can you do? Are you an uncaring? Are you an uncaring piece of shit? Come on, do you have a heart of stone? Here, but I'm gonna check live chat here and see if we got anybody else here in the live chat. She wanted to chat about Arthur the King. There and again, yeah, you can live chat with me on Pilled and YouTube and Rumble. Okay. And then also, real quick here, while I'm thinking about it, smash that like button down below, okay? If you're watching this episode either live or watching it later on, the recording of it, go ahead and smash that like button there. Come on, it's calling to you. It's calling to you. It said, smash me, okay? So, and not only is the like button calling to you to smash it, okay? The subscribe and follow button there, if you haven't already hit that, hit it and quit it. All right. If you haven't already hit that subscribe or follow button down below there as well, if you would. Okay. So pretty please. And chances are, I know I will definitely follow or subscribe to you if you hit that button and you DM me, on X under Movies Merica and just, hey, I followed you on X or I followed you on Rumble or Gab or Facebook. Hey, follow me back there, motherfucker. And I will follow you back. Okay. So, all right, I'm not going to leave you hanging, but you got to subscribe or follow me first. Okay. And then also you can hit that notification bell. That's again down there as well. And that notification bell, if you haven't already hit that, what it'll do is when you click on it, you'll from now on get updates whenever there's a hot, piping fresh new episode of Movies Merica waiting for you. Okay, so yeah, don't be that fool that don't do it. Okay, that doesn't do it, and not get updated when there's a brand new episode of this biatch here. Okay, so all right, let's mix it up again here with a little thirst quenching. Okay, and by that, of course, as you know, that's got to mean it's brew review time. All right, so for this Thursday night here, okay, since it's almost the weekend, I'm going to go with a little bit more of a celebratory. Is that how I say it? Celebratory beer, yeah, or what I should say, cerveza. Okay, so we got some cerveza up in here today. Okay, so I don't know what that accent is. I have no idea I don't know where I was going with that. But we got some Shiner Orale. Okay, so here on Movies Merica, spoiler warning tonight. Let me hold that up there so you can see that. Get a good look at it. Feast your eyes. Feast your ojos on that Shiner Orale. Okay. And Orale, that's multiple meanings for that word, right? It's like saying hi or what the hell, that kind of thing. But for tonight, it's a name of a beer, okay? And it is a cerveza or a Mexican lager, okay? And it comes to us from our good friends at Shiner in Shiner, Texas. And Shiner, they have all kinds of different brews there, but this is their Orale brew. And it's light and crispy and refreshing. And so if you couldn't tell from that description, I am recommending a little Orale. Okay, so for you, okay, and you guys back there. Okay, so anybody you can think of, I would recommend this beer to them. And it's got like this kind of like corny, hoppy aroma, and it's got some agave in it, and you can smell that in there kind of slightly right there. But it's the agave that kind of cuts through the corniness. And I'm making the beer sound bad when I use the word corny. Okay, so it doesn't taste like corn. Okay, let me stress that. Okay, it's just kind of got that aroma to it there, but you could tell they've got some corn properties in it. But it enhances the beer. Okay, it makes it good. Okay, makes it muy bueno. Okay, but it's again, the agave is detectable, but very light, and it just makes it, more smooth and refreshing. So this is a great beer. You can tell from the label right there, like, hey, it's a good beer, like drink by the pool, right? Just sitting by the pool, checking out the honeys, or you're on the beach or something like that, or hell, you're on your bass boat or something like that, and you're out on the water. You're outside. All right, you're kicking fucking back outside. And you can do a whole lot worse than Shiner. Ole! Having that in your beer cooler, okay? So, all right, enough yapping about this here. I'm going to take a little tug off this bad boy. Very good. Very good. So, yeah. So, you can grab yourself some of that there. It's not the most obscure beer that I've ever reviewed. So, chances are, if you live in a halfway decent-sized town, you probably can get your hands on this, particularly if you live in Texas like me, okay? But if you can't find it there, if you can't just drive down to your grocery store, your local Gas and Gulp and find it there, you can go to some place like gopuff.com or Open Bar. That's an app. Or what's the other place? Drizzly.com. That's spelled Drizly. Those are kind of like the Amazon of booze, if Jeff Bezos ran a booze delivery service, that's what those would be right there. And I'm not getting any money from any of those places there. I'm not getting any money from Shiner as well. So this is a completely totally legit, non-biased review. Okay. So, I just plain like this brew. And I don't like every brew that I review on here. You guys know this. If you guys have seen, enough of my episodes. Okay. But yeah, so yeah, pick yourself up a little bit of this brew right there. But that has been brew review time. All right, so now one thing that I liked about this movie is actually I liked how it made me aware of adventure racing. Okay, and adventure racing is this racing where they run all this tough terrain. They climb cliffs if they have to. They're running on these trails. Sometimes they're not even on trails. They cycle. Okay, and so they're carrying bikes with them, and then they kayak and that kind of thing. And sometimes they don't have water to use with their kayaks, so they got to carry these damn kayaks and shit. Through mud and that kind of thing. So it's just a total shit show, right? It's a test of your endurance, your muscle mass, all of that shit, your will, that kind of thing. And so they do that, for hundreds of miles for days upon days. And I'm surprised. I mean, I think the last time where I was going with it, I'm surprised I don't watch more of that. Okay. And the last time I saw something like this is I think they have some kind of version of this or some kind of variant of this in the Olympics, in the Summer Olympics. I remember a few years ago when the Olympics were in Brazil and they had something like this there. I don't know if they call it adventure racing. They probably call it some obvious word that I'm just not thinking of right now. Where I saw some Olympians, they're cycling through, rough terrain, and then they're kayaking, and then they're, running through rough terrain, that kind of thing. And so I thought that was pretty cool, and then I just never really followed up on it and watched it. But I think I'm gonna start watching that because a lot of times these niche sports like adventure racing, they usually have them on channels with some pretty good HD picture to them, pretty good HD image, or sometimes they have them like some really crisp and clear 4K, and so definitely they look great, and that's be pretty entertaining. So yeah, it just kind of turned me on to adventure racing. So I'll have to seek out where I can find that out there. So, but yeah, I just wanted to show. There was another scene from Arthur the King with Mark Wahlberg that I wanted to show you here. But that I thought it was a very, very poignant, very touching scene with Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, dog, how's it going? I like your fur. That looks really great. So you're a dog, right? What's that all about? Okay, well, it was great to meet you. Say hi to your mother for me, okay?
Great scene from Arthur the King. So probably one of my favorite scenes right there. So, and just really showing Mark Wahlberg connecting with man's best friend, ladies too. Okay. So yeah, it's again, Mark Wahlberg is, usually you can't go wrong with Mark Wahlberg in a movie. He's got a stinker here and there and that kind of thing. I mean, mile 22 right there. So mile 22 is one of them. Man, what's some other crappy ones he was in? Like, God, see, he's had so many good ones that I can't even think of any bad ones that he's been in. So I know he's been in some stinkers, like that movie Fear that he was in from back in like '96. I wasn't a big fan of that. Oh, Planet of the Apes. Ooh, yeah, that's a big flop for Wahlberg there, and that's a movie where he said he only wanted to do Planet of the Apes because he wanted to work with Tim Burton. Okay, so. Yeah, okay. Hey, if that's your story, stick to it. Mark Wahlberg. But yeah, Planet of the Apes was big pile of monkey shit is what that movie was. But hey, by the time they got your money here, it was too late, man. They're all like,
Gotcha, bitch.
Yep. So we got your money. We got your money. We got your money. It's but yeah, Wahlberg's been in some great movies, right? I mean, The Departed and Three Kings, and both Ted movies, Deepwater Horizon, Patriot Day, Lone Survivor, The Italian Job. Did I say Boogie Nights already? Yeah, Boogie Nights. Their Basketball Diaries, all kinds of great movies that he's been in. It's just amazing. It's pretty damn impressive if you look at his filmography on IMDb. Like, holy shit! Okay, so I remember like back when he was in the movie Fear, and then he was in Renaissance Man, and I remember thinking like, okay, yeah, he's Marky Mark. Yeah, he's probably gonna dabble in acting, but he'll probably be gone before even know that he was an actor. But here he is, man. 2024, and 87 movies later or whatever it is. Okay, he's still entertaining the masses right there. So, and he just knows what the hell he's doing right there. He's usually picks out some pretty good movies. And hey, if you don't think that Mark Wahlberg has any good movies,
you are a retard.
Yes, I couldn't have said it better myself right there. So let me check for any chats here. I'll see if we got anybody there, because I don't want to be that guy that ignores any there. But I think we are good to go here. And I'm going to kind of keep it a little shorter here tonight here, because I'm getting ready for something that we're doing with the Till Death Podcast Network called The Bannies. Okay, and you've probably heard about that from Ian and Sean, the other a couple other members of the Till Death Podcast Network, on their Whiskey Capitalist podcast show that's on Monday and Wednesday nights. Okay, and so we're getting this Bannies thing, and the Bannies, what it is you've heard of the Oscars and the Grammys and the Tonys and the Golden Globes, all those. Well, the Bannies is our award show that's coming up here shortly, and so of course they need my my awesome writing skills. Okay, my writing skills that has become legendary, that have been heard of from yonder and fro and hither and yon. Okay, my writing skills that are just classically legendary and known throughout this third rock from the sun. Okay, so so I got to do some writing for the Bannies. Writing we're going to be doing so award presentations and that kind of thing. We are going. I mean, we've got great categories for the Bannies. There we've got we got like the most bannable offense, the biggest dingus award, the most banned sports figure, the most banned news/media personality. So I'm just gonna be writing some stuff for that, some funny, humorous stuff for that. So when we do the Bannies, I'll have the Bannies Award Show. It can be entertaining for you when you watch that. So, but I'm going to be, I got to get some writing done for that. So that's why I got to keep the episode a little shorter tonight than I normally would right there. Otherwise, I would love to talk forever about Arthur the King and talk to you guys about any movie that is out there. And hey, Will says the other guys. Yeah, so well, I don't that movie I like. That movie I like. I don't know if you're saying like you're submitting that, Will, as an example of a bad Wahlberg movie. I personally like that movie, but hey, to each their own. I thought it was pretty freaking hilarious, you know. How his character he was a detective or something like that. He got demoted as a cop because he shot Derek Jeter. And, what was that famous line from it? I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly. I just love it. Yeah, his interactions, his chemistry with Will Ferrell in that movie. Like, hey man, you're like, how are you getting all these hot ladies? Yeah, he's pretty good in that movie. And Will Ferrell's pretty good in that. So it's a good Adam McKay comedy with Will Ferrell, kind of like Adam McKay had good Will Ferrell comedies like Step Brothers and Talladega Nights and Anchorman. So back when Will Ferrell was still funny. Okay, so I haven't seen him in anything funny in a long time at all. So, but all right, let's keep this train rolling along, shall we? By me getting into what is my favorite segment of every Movies Merica spoiler warning episode. And if you've seen any of my prior episodes, you know exactly where I'm going with this, okay? I am, of course, talking about my movie military moments segment, okay? And if you've never seen an episode of this, then, of course, then you're wondering, what the hell is the movie military moment? Well, what that is my opportunity that I give moi here to honor a well-deserving member of our armed services. Okay, so any serviceman or servicewoman that has been awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor is who I honor in the movie military moment. And of course, naturally, some of you might be wondering, like, what the fuck is the connection between movies and the Congressional Medal of Honor? Well, I shall tell you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Okay. So, as you would imagine, in order to be awarded a Congressional Medal of Honor, you have to do something very gnarly, okay, which is probably not the best descriptive term, but something like just bombastic, like just something eye-popping, okay, something just amazing to see, a sight for the senses, okay, like, you know, you're a helicopter pilot, you know, and you're braving death, okay, you're defying death or you're risking death by landing your helicopter in a hot LZ. Your helicopter is under, you know, heavy enemy fire, but you're like, fuck it, I don't care. We've got wounded men. We got to get out of this, out of this hot LZ. So you're landing in a hot LZ, and your door gunner is like mowing down Viet Cong, okay, and just a scene to behold if it was on the big screen in front of you, right? That would be making your eyes pop out of your head. Or you're World War II, you know, you're fighting in Iwo Jima, and you're charging a Jap, pillbox, okay, and you're running in there and you're taking them out. You know, you're mowing them down with your Thompson submachine gun, or you're running in there with a grenade and you're taking yourselves out to save your fellow man by taking out a bunch of Japs or something like that, right? A moment where if you saw it in a movie on the big screen, it would be a very cool movie military moment. All right, so that's the connection. Okay, and so for this episode, the lucky, I don't want to say lucky, the well-deserving recipient of honor in this movie military moment is one Lance Corporal William Kyle Carpenter, who served his country with distinction in Afghanistan. And so let's learn a little bit more about Lance Corporal William Kyle Carpenter. But first off, the Lance Corporal deserves his own music. So here we go. This is the movie Military Moment. And the proud recipient of this episode's Movie Military Moment Award is one Lance Corporal William Kyle Carpenter, who served in Afghanistan. And let's learn more about what Lance Corporal Carpenter did to become a recipient of the Congressional Medal of Honor. For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty while serving as an automatic rifleman with Company F, 2nd Battalion, 9th Marines, Regimental Combat Team 1, 1st Marine Division Forward, 1 Marine Expeditionary Force Forward in Helmand Province, Afghanistan, in support of Operation Enduring Freedom on 21 November 2010, Lance Corporal Carpenter was a member of a platoon-sized coalition force comprised of 2 reinforced Marine squads partnered with an Afghan National Army squad. The platoon had established Patrol Base Dakota 2 days earlier in a small village in the Marja district in order to disrupt enemy activity and provide security for the local Afghan population. Lance Corporal Carpenter and a fellow Marine were manning a rooftop security position on the perimeter of Patrol Base Dakota when the enemy initiated a daylight attack with hand grenades, one of which landed inside their sandbag position. Without hesitation and with complete disregard for his own safety, Lance Corporal Carpenter moved toward the grenade in an attempt to shield his fellow Marine from the deadly blast. When the grenade detonated, his body absorbed the brunt of the blast, severely wounding him, but saving the life of his fellow Marine. By his undaunted courage, bold fighting spirit, and unwavering devotion to duty in the face of almost certain death, Lance Corporal Carpenter reflected great credit upon himself and upheld the highest traditions of the Marine Corps and the United States Naval Service. And we salute you, Lance Corporal William Kyle Carpenter, in this movie Military Moments. And that has been our movie Military Moment for this episode. Stepper 5. All right. Fantastic. And hey, if you happen to know the family or some friends of Lance Corporal William Kyle Carpenter, and again, hey, as far as I know, he is still alive. He was not awarded this posthumously. So yeah, hey, if you know him, hey, let Lance Corporal Carpenter know about this. Okay, let him know about this episode. Like, forward the link to this episode to him or his family or his friends or something like that. Because I would think that, hey, they would be honored to see someone, honor their loved one, or Lance Corporal Carpenter would, be touched and honored to see somebody, give him some recognition that he so richly deserves. So, but I love that segment of every episode, movie Military Moment. All right, that movie just so kicks ass. All right, just so good. And hey, if you don't like that segment, you're up.
Homo.
Yes. I tell you, love it. And so Will's Will says good movie about the other guys right there. So Will, I knew you had excellent taste. I knew it. Okay, I knew this is something about you, man. I just knew it. Got fantastic movie taste right there. But all right, so hey, I always say, like, the movie Military Moment, like, I gotta follow that. But let me check out the live chat here real quick. I don't want to leave anybody hanging here on particularly on Pilled. See if you got anybody checking in there. But checking in Rumble and YouTube. So I think we're all caught up right there with that. But hey, if you are watching this episode and you're picking up what I'm putting down enough to where you want to show me a little financial love, okay, a little financial appreciation, $1 or $2 or something like that, and you're feeling so inclined to do that, well, you can definitely do that. I'll tell you how, okay? So if you're on YouTube, you can give me what's called a super chat. Okay. And then when you give a super chat, you can choose like how much the super chat's for, $1 or $2 or $75, whatever you want to give me. And how you give a super chat is down by where you type in your live chat message. There's a button there with a dollar bill on it. Okay, so dollar bill, yo. And yeah, when you click on that, it'll just ask you how much you want to donate and that kind of thing. And then if you do that, I'll put your super chat up here on the screen with whatever message you want to put up there. Hey, maybe you want to put in, hey, you're a complete dipshit, Van. Hey, here's $10. I will put your message, you're a complete dipshit, Van, up on the screen. Yes, exactly. Because if you give me a $10 super chat, well, you definitely deserve your message. Definitely deserve your message in a place of prominence right here on the screen down below. Okay. Now, if you're on Rumble, you can give me what's called a Rumble rant, and you just have to click on the button that has a $sign on it down by where you type in your live chat message, and that also will bring up like a window or show you where you can choose what dollar amount you want to donate there. And last but certainly not least is on Pilled. If you're watching me on Pilled, you're in the live chat on Pilled, you can give me what's called gold pills, okay? And if you're in the Pilled.net world, gold pills equate to money, moolah, dinero. And so you just give me a gold pill, and that will basically give me some money, okay? And so that'd be cool as well. I think there's just like a gold pill button you click on there, and then you choose like how many gold pills you want to give me, and to show some appreciation if you are so inclined. So definitely appreciate that. It's fantastic. All right, that's a sticky situation if I don't give me donations there. Yes. Yeah, I mean, and let me know in the live chat here any like other great dog movies that you can think of. Okay, so I mean, there's a lot of them out there. Some of them are very depressing. Some of them are very uplifting and inspirational. They get you all fired up. And okay, I mean, I like Snow Dogs. Snow Dogs is a good one. What's that one? There's one with Richard Gere that is a real tearjerker and very sad, but not for the reason you might think. Okay, I think it's called like Hachi or Kashi. It's like Hachi, a dog's tale, or Kashi, a dog's tale, or something like that. So let me look that up here. I'm going to cheat here. I'll look that up here. There we go. Yeah, look for Richard Gere here, and hopefully it doesn't bring me up like a bunch of pictures of gerbils or hamsters. Let's see here. Which one is that? Yes, I know he was in Chicago and Internal Affairs and Officer and a Gentleman. Yes. That was another good. Yeah, Hachi. It's called Hachi, a Dog's Tale. It's spelled Hachi. Hachi, a Dog's Tale. And yeah, I remember that. It's based on a true story, and I think it's another one of those stories where they make like the main character, they change it to an American, but the actual story took place in Japan, I believe. And so yeah, really good movie right there. I'm sure I'm thinking of like another obvious dog movie that's good. Turner. I was about to say Turner and the Hooch. Turner and Hooch. I mentioned another one earlier. Dog with Channing Tatum. It's another great dog movie. But sure, if anybody in the live chat thinks of any, then you guys will let me know there. So, but yeah, fantastic movie. I would definitely check out Arthur the King. It's a good movie to bring the kids to. There was a lot of kids with with their family there in the theater. So, and then next week here, just to let you know, the movie that I will be spoiler-free reviewing this week is Ghostbusters. Yes, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, the brand new Ghostbusters movie. So I do my spoiler-free reviews. They come out on 4 o'clock this Sunday afternoon Eastern, 4 o'clock Eastern, and 3 Central, and 2 Mountain, and 1 Pacific. Okay, and I do that live. Okay, so you can check that out on whatever same platform you're watching this show on right now, whether that's Rumble or YouTube or Pilled. Okay, and yeah, I do that live. I call it Movies Merica Live. And again, that's spoiler free, so you can watch that and not worry about getting Ghostbusters a Ghostbusters Frozen Empire spoiled for you. Okay, so I'm hoping it's good. I'm gonna go check it out. But yeah, I will let you know on Sunday whether it's good and whether it's worth your money. Okay, let you guys know if it's a piece of dog shit like that 2016 one where they try to give you the feminazi version of Ghostbusters. They try to pander to all the women by having all the Ghostbusters as women. Okay, so now if the movie had been good, if it had been funny, then I wouldn't have given a flying fuck if they were all women. Okay, so like Bridesmaids. Bridesmaids is a movie that features all women. Hilarious. That movie's fucking hilarious. Okay, so don't come at me with you just don't like Ghostbusters because it was the Ghostbusters 2016 movie because it was a bunch of women. No, wrong, incorrect. Okay, so go punish yourself because you were so damn wrong. Okay, so no, I like Bridesmaids just fine. Wonder Woman is obviously a female-centric superhero. I love the Wonder Woman with Gal Gadot, the first one. Very, very good. Fantastic movie right there. But anyway, back to Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I'll be spoiler-free reviewing that this Sunday afternoon. So check on X and Rumble and YouTube and Gab for links to that. Okay, so and then of course, what does that mean? Well, next Thursday night, I will be spoilery reviewing Ghostbusters Frozen Empire next Thursday night at the same bat time, same bat channel as right now. Okay, so next Thursday night on Movies Merica, spoiler warning. Okay, and I might have a couple of surprise guests on that episode right there. Okay, so because that will be my 1-year anniversary of doing this Thursday night show, the Movies Merica spoiler warning show. Okay, it'll be my 1-year anniversary of doing that, and it's been fantastic thanks to watchers like you. Okay, whether you're watching me live or watching me later on. Okay, I couldn't have done it without you. Okay, so as far as getting the subscriber numbers up and the number of people that watch live chat every week. Okay, so I didn't do that. You did. I'll say. So give yourself a hand. Just give yourself a hand. There you go. Give yourself a pat yourself on the back. There you go. Okay, so absolutely. So, and hey, we got Professor Savage Dad out here in the there we go. Yeah, he's looking forward to Ghostbusters. Oh yeah. Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. So I appreciate that right there. And if there's something scary in your neighborhood, who are you going to call? Yeah, I mean, there you go. Ray Parker Jr. knows the answer to that. So, and hey, we got the No Prisoners podcast up in the live chat on Pill, and they gifted me the ship. They gave me some of those gold pills that I was telling you about earlier. So, yeah, well, thank you very much. There you go for that No Prisoners podcast. It's a very classy operation. Check out the No Prisoners podcast on Pilled. Okay, check them out there. So they have a great show there. So, and obviously just find them by typing in No Prisoners podcast there and checking out them. They got a great show about current events and that kind of thing, hot button topics and all that. So, but appreciate that, guys. Appreciate the moolah and the financial support. Okay. So, but yeah, again, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, spoiler-free review this Sunday afternoon. And then spoilery discussion next Thursday night with maybe a couple of surprise guests. Okay. And just to commemorate my 1-year Movies Merica spoiler warning anniversary. All right. So, okay. And let's start wrapping up this show here by me letting you guys know about a few things you should check out. The first one is this first one you can check out if you want. Okay. Now, the reason I don't sound all excited about this one is because this is my website where I have all the audio-only versions of my spoiler-free reviews. Okay, so basically the podcast version of my spoiler-free reviews that I do on Sunday. But I would much rather have you watch my spoiler-free reviews. Okay, they either watch them live on Sunday afternoon or watch them later on. Okay, and but if you have to listen to it only and you need to do it on a website, you can go to www.moviesmerica.com And now, just to warn you, the audio-only versions of those episodes, the ones that you can find, at this website down below, or on Apple Podcast or Google Podcasts. Pardon me. I do get bit by the procrastination bug a lot. Okay. When it comes to those. Okay. And so a lot of times I don't get those audio only episodes put out on, Google Podcasts and this website and Stitcher and iHeartRadio. I don't get them put out until like the following, like Wednesday or Thursday after the Sunday that I do them. Okay. So yeah, it's my motivation level to get those out there is about that much right there, a little right there. Okay. Because hey, I'd much rather have you watch the episodes on YouTube and X and Rumble and Pilled and all that stuff. So yeah, check it out there. But if you gotta, you can go to www.moviesmerica.com. All right. And then also just to drill home the point that I am on the old social medias, you can check me out under @MoviesMerica at X and Instagram and Gab. I'm on Pilled. You can find me on pilled.net. Under Movies America. I'm on Facebook under Movies America as well. I've got a Facebook group and a Facebook page under at Movies America, or you can just look me up under Van Ebert on Facebook as well. I'm all over the place, people, all over the place. Okay, and check me out there. And then if you find me under @Movies America on X and Instagram and Gab and Rumble and Pilled, hey, make sure you follow me or subscribe to me. That would be fantastic. I'd be touched. Quite frankly, I'd probably get overly emotional. Okay, so so yeah, if you find me out there, yeah, hit the subscribe or follow button. That'd be fantastic. All right. And then moving on, we got tdpn.locals.com, which I'm not going to go too terribly into because I told you about that earlier. Plus, it's been up at the top of the screen the whole episode. Okay, so but yeah, that's just our Till Death Podcast Network website, where we have our videos and blogs and articles all about movies and entertainment and booze and politics and hot button topics of the day and funnies and all kinds of shit. So all kinds of fun and frolic for all the boys and girls. Okay. And then moving on, this next one has to do with the fact that every great world empire, whether it's the Roman Empire, the Ming Dynasty, the Ottoman Empire, Alexander the Great. What do they all have in common? Conquest? Battles? No. Merch stores. Yes, merch stores is, of course, what I mean. And, of course, all of you are like, of course, merch stores. I mean, who didn't buy any Alexander the Great merch back in the day, right? Okay, so, and as like all great empires, like those previously mentioned empires, the Till Death Podcast Network, we have our own merch, okay, at the merch store link down in the description. Yes, and that's where you can get some Movies America merch, like Movies America phone cases, Movies America yoga pants, Movies America coffee cups, drinking cups, flasks, pretty much anything you can think of, all right? Shot glasses, that kind of anything, but you're probably not going to be able to get like a Movies America, catalytic converter or a particle accelerator or fishnet pantyhose. Well, no, you might be able to get some of those. But anyway, so yeah, to get to the merch store, easiest way is to click on that merch store link down in the description and hook yourself up right there. Now, once you click on that link and you get into the merch store, you might have to scroll down quite a bit to get down to the merch. You might have to just do some serious scrolling, but you'll get it, okay? And again, there's T-shirts there, there's merch, there's a Movies America T-shirts there as well. All right. And then moving on, we have the @Till Death Network, solo.to/Till Death Pod Network. And what is that all about? Well, that is the one-stop location for all links that have to do with the Till Death Podcast Network. So, and I'm betting you dollars to donuts, you're going to find some Movies America related links in there. And so, yeah, if you don't want to hunt and peck all over the internet for links to my show or any other Till Death Podcast Network shows, get to that location down below right there, okay? And then solo.to/Till Death Studios is another place you may want to go And the reason that you would want to go there is if you're like a content creator like me, someone who makes videos or, or live streams or something like that. And you want to pretty up your presentation a little bit. You want to class it up. You want to give it a little flair, like the intros that you saw earlier, or like the overlay that you see up at the top, or the background that you see over here. You can go to solo.to/TillDeathStudios, and my man Ian is going to hook you up with his mad skills that pay the bills. Okay, he'll put all kinds of graphics and backgrounds and create intros for you and that kind of thing. But the first step that you have to take in order to make that happen is go to solo.to/TillDeathStudios. All right. And then we have solo.to/I'm Sean Cav. And that's where you can go for all the links that have to do with old Sean Cav, another member of the Till Death Podcast Network. And I'm guaranteed you're going to find a link or two to his Sippin' with Sean show that he does every other Friday afternoon. Okay. And he just he gives his life advice and gives you kind of a his take on like things more musical related, because he's a bass guitar player. Sometimes he'll do his episodes from his bar at home, or on location, that kind of thing. So, but that's Sipping with Sean. And go to solo.to/I'm Sean Cav for links to that and links to all kinds of other stuff that he's got out there, other great content. Okay. And then next we've got solo.to/The Whiskey Capitalist. And that's where you can find all the links that have to do with that crazy, wacky show, the Whiskey Capitalist Podcast, that you can see on Monday and Wednesday nights. And that is, Ian and Sean do that show right there, or you might know Ian more as Sketchy Jesus, okay, or Sketchy Jesus. And that's solo.to/The Whiskey Capitalist. Probably a pretty good spot to go if you want the link to the latest episode of that. So, or you can go to the Whiskey Capitalist Podcast on X and the Rumble and all that stuff. So definitely check them out there. Okay. And then last but certainly not least, we've got solo.to/Till Death Podcast. And that's the one-stop shop for all the links that have to do with the Till Death Podcast. Okay. The flagship program, the very first program, our show that we had on the Till Death Podcast Network. And that is hosted by Ian, or Sketchy Jesus, and his lovely wife, Jen. And that show is on every other Saturday afternoon. And they just give you like the husband and wife perspective about current events and hot button topics of the day and funnies and entertainment and that kind of thing. Just give you all that mixed in with their marital mirth. Okay. And if you want, if that sounds like something you feel like taking in, well, hey, check out the Till Death Podcast every other Saturday. All right. So that's good stuff. Very entertaining. At least a good show to watch, like have it on in the background while you're doing something up. If you're chopping onions, or you're skinning a deer or whatever like that, or you're that kind of thing, whatever, you're grading papers, if you're a teacher or something like that. I mean, just all kinds of things you can be doing with that in the background. And that goes for Movies Merica episodes as well. Okay. One thing that I ask people to do, and sometimes they're kind enough to honor me or to humor me, is like tonight's episode. It's a very spoiler heavy episode, right? So, well, if you don't want the movie that I'm spoiling in this episode to be ruined for you, but you still want to help me out a little bit, you can just have this episode on in the background and just make sure to have it muted. Okay. And a lot of people, they'll have this show on muted, like in a laptop in some back room somewhere, or on another tab on their computer they're on, but it's muted or something like that. So, and it helps me out because it still gets recorded as watch minutes. Okay. And it helps me with that, the almighty algorithm. Okay. That is, the Lord and Savior, our evil overlord that we all have to bow down to. Okay, so helps with that algorithm right there. Okay, so all right. So then what I'm going to do right now here is, if you are watching on the pill.net side, you you might just be getting awarded right now, okay, or rewarded, because I'm going to do what's called releasing the scratching. What that means is I'm going to be releasing a bunch of gold pills for everybody who is joining me on Pilled.net, who's in the live chat, okay? So any lurkers, okay, that are watching me on Pilled, well, this is your time to get into the live chat. At least give me a thumbs up or a hi, or just say hi or whatever. But get in there long enough to grab some gold pills. And like I said, gold pills equate to moolah, to dinero, okay? So get in there. I'll give you like to the count of 5 to get into the live chat on Pilled, okay? So lurkers, you have been warned, all right? So here's the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2.5, 2, 1 3/4, 1 1/3, 1. There we go. I have released the scratching. So grab yourself some gold pills. Okay, that's kind of like, you ever seen those chambers or whatever, the little contraptions they have where they have the dollar bills blowing all over the place, and you got to try to grab as many dollar bills as you possibly can, or if they drop money from a helicopter or at some minor league baseball game or something like that, kind of that deal right there. But yeah, grab yourself some gold pills, everybody in the live chat on Pilled. Do it. Yes, you gotta get in there and enjoy. All right. So yeah, I like Professor Savage Dad. Truly trying to butter me up right here, and it's working. I couldn't mute those sultry tones. Yes, I know. It's got that rich, buttery, velvety voice right here that moves your AM dial to this sultry voice. Yes, it gets everybody cranking up their volume knob. Yeah, crank the volume up and break the knob off, as I used to say in the radio world. But yeah, again, hey, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. That's coming up this week here. So check me out. Check out my Movies Merica episodes right there. Okay, and I think we're getting ready to wrap it up, everybody. Okay, let me check my watch. Yep. It's about time to wrap this biatch up. So I want to thank you guys again for checking this episode out, and get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya.
Everybody, don't leave yet. Okay? Hey, I got just enough time. I got the police after me, okay? And, oh man, they're gonna get me at any time. I got just enough time to ask you to like this video and also subscribe to this channel if you would, man. You'd be doing me a big favor, okay? And please make sure to like these videos, or watch them and then like them, okay? That'd be great. And again, thanks for watching, okay? And subscribe to the Till Death Podcast Network and Movies Merica. I gotta go.